gotta go live. You mind? Can I go live?
You can go live if you want to.
You ever been live yet? Anybody been live?
Nah, I haven't been live.
They said I could get paid to go live today.
I haven't been live yet at all. Not even on my own page. And you want to go live on yours?
Kinda. That's fine.
It's my show.
I asked.
Go ahead, man. Let me go ahead and make sure my questions are right.
I don't know where to put it at. I'm just going to cancel it because I don't know where I will put it at. Can you set it up?
You should have thought about that before.
Can I hold it while I record?
No.
Like this?
How is that going to work when it comes to the recording?
I mean, they can't see it.
Yeah, they're going to see it. We're talking about it now.
It's like, it's the cameraman got to have a camera in his hand.
Wow. You know, something wrong with you, man.
The cameraman got to have a camera in his hand. Cause that's what we talking about, bro.
Something wrong with you, man.
I can't. At least like, dang, I need a camera. Let me go grab my camera, son.
Wow.
What's up, peoples? How y'all feeling? I actually got people joining in. I'm surprised.
Can we get started?
Oh yeah, my bad.
I mean, you might as well leave it on.
What's up, Miss Lizzie?
Wow. I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. But we gonna say what's up.
Tell us hello. I just give the weird ass wave. Wow. How you doing? Miss Lizzie. Whoever the hell that is.
Yeah, let's go see who that is. I probably do know who it is. I just don't recognize the name.
They might say whoever the hell that is. I may actually have a problem, man.
We gotta stop cursing.
I didn't curse.
We gotta stop cursing.
I didn't curse at all. What are you talking about?
Like hell, even the small stuff.
Whatever, dog. Can we get started?
I'm waiting on you. What's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome. Settle. My bad. Settle first. Settle.
All right, let's settle up. What's going on, everybody? Damn it, man! You didn't mess me up. I'm all out the flow. Damn. All right, okay, hold on. Let me check it out. What's going on? Welcome back to 3 Questions, 3QS. Today, like I told y'all before, we're not only doing just dances. So today we have a special guest, somebody who's normally behind the camera. We got Jamar Hutcheson. What's up, man?
You know the funny thing? I consider myself a dancer.
You consider yourself a dancer?
Yeah.
How?
I love to dance. Do you gotta be good at it to consider yourself something?
Not really. I mean, I guess no, you really don't. I mean, I'm an interviewer.
So you haven't left the spectrum yet. You still interviewing dancers? Because I beat my feet.
Okay. Now, you know what? There was a point in time where I didn't consider beating your feet.
Disrespectful. Just the thought of it. Disrespectful.
I didn't consider it dance.
But crazy legs.
That was hold on. Wait a minute now. Okay, don't bring Crazy Legs into this. Okay, because I work with him. He's cool people.
You said not dance.
No, hold on. This was like a while ago.
Before you came to DC?
Yes.
Okay.
When I first came down there, I was like, what the hell?
Tell your age. What year was that?
I'm not telling nobody that.
Tell your age.
Nah, you're not gonna get me like that.
Almost caught him.
Yeah, exactly. Almost caught him.
But I'm a cameraman. I ain't mean to cut you off like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jamar has been the guy that's been behind the camera with a lot of the 3QS, 3 Questions interviews. So let's go ahead and shout him out. Give him a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? You know, one of these. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's get right into it, man. Like I do every guest. Like I say, everyone should know this question already. Who is Jamar Hutcheson? Am I saying your last name right?
Probably not.
Okay.
Say it again.
Hutcheson? Oh, man. Hutcheson?
You know the crazy thing? I really don't know how to pronounce my own last name.
That's a damn shame.
To be completely honest, I just say it so fast. People say, what's your name? Like, Jamar Hutcheson. That's how I say Hutcheson.
And people just go with it.
It is a Hutcheson. It's like a son. Because I tell people, like, it's 2 different versions. You know, you got the white version, you know, like Josh Hutchinson. You know, the INSON.
Okay.
So when people hear my name, even though I say son, they always hear ensign. So they always spell it out INSON. I'm like, no, I'm black. It's ESON.
So there's a difference.
It's a difference. It's ESON.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people get it wrong.
Yeah.
I think I got it wrong.
I mean, probably though, but who cares? I really don't have a real attachment to the. I'm thinking about getting rid of it, actually.
For real?
Just become Jamar Denzel.
Jamar Denzel. Where's that come from?
My middle name is Denzel.
Denzel. Why is that?
Just take off the...
The funny thing is when you say that Jamar Denzel, the first thing that comes to my head is Denzel Washington.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. That's it.
I was guessing, but really?
That's it. My father liked Denzel Washington. That was his only connection to my name. Because he wasn't there when I was born. So to give him some type of connection, my mom put the Denzel there because she knew that was his favorite actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to moms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My name is a mix of her name and some other names. That's where she got Jamar from.
So, Jamar Denzel Hutcheson.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute, hold up. So Denzel Washington is an actor, so have you thought about acting?
Not really.
You'd rather be behind the camera?
Yeah, but I think I'll probably get into both. I love movies in general just because it's just like you just get to be a child. I ain't childish or nothing, but you just get to, I feel like that's why I like it.
Is it like you can
Cause they act like you just see.
Yeah, it's like different characters you can play.
Like Marlon Wayne, I'm pretty sure it's Marlon. I hope I ain't getting confused, but he just keep coming out with all these Halloween movies. He must really like Halloween. He just came out with another Halloween movies on Netflix. But that's his thing. I haven't
seen it at all.
That's his thing, though. He's like producing and acting in his own movies. Like it's like I fell in love with movies because I love reading books, and books put you into a different universe, it takes you to another place. And I think in film is that visualized in 3D format instead of literary. And that's I can see myself acting.
Okay. So that's who Jamar is. Like I was trying to get, because you kind of getting into different questions.
Jamar doesn't know who Jamar is yet. Okay. So I'm still exploring myself.
Okay, so let's get to the more basics then. Where are you from?
So I'm from Washington D.C., Southeast D.C. All day. What was that? I don't know why when you go hood you gotta try to put like some type of gang sign up, but I ain't really associated with no gangs or nothing.
Please don't associate it with that.
With nothing. So you gotta do something. I just something like that. But Southeast all day.
Okay, so you Southeast D.C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Born and raised Southeast. Grew up Southeast. Didn't pick up a camera until I was a grown man, though. Because I didn't know where my life was going. So that's why I'm saying I don't know who I am yet, because this is a different story for a different day. But, Well,
I would say that it seems like you know exactly, like where you want to go.
I know where I'm going.
I
got plans. I've decided I used to not live an intentional life. I used to just let things happen. And I was in a huge depression because of that. And so that's why I said I don't really know who I am. I'm exploring myself now. I'm in my 30s now. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by I'm exploring myself. Because I was in a deep depression and it took a while for me to get out of it.
But depression is hard, man.
Yeah, and it took me a while to get out of that depression. Now that I'm out of it, now I can explore and really get out of my comfort zone. Right. And become who I really am. Because when you're in you kind of that's why you're in depression, because you're holding yourself back. And now that I'm not holding myself back, I can really see where I can go. So I don't know who Jamar is. I'm still exploring him.
So you're coming out the depression right now, is what you're saying?
I'm at the tail end of it. Well, depression is never really going to go away. It's always going to be there. It's always going to eat at me.
It's something that you got to fight through. I will say that, because I have to say that myself, that, I didn't really acknowledge depression at one point. And I know me and you've had conversations off camera. I've actually dealt with it myself too. So I know exactly. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. My boy Rob Gordon once on one of his podcasts, he said he was talking about relationships with your significant other, but I took it just as trauma in itself. He was saying when you end a relationship, it's crazy I'm still in this crap though, but when you end a relationship, if you was in a relationship for 6 months, you gotta give yourself 12 months to get over that relationship. To dissect what happened in that relationship, who you were, who you weren't. You need to give yourself time to reflect before you introduce yourself to another one.
You equating that with depression?
Yeah. So like if I was depressed for 20 years, I got out of my depression when I was 21. That's when my flip happened.
Okay.
My flip happened when I was at 21. So if I was depressed, and I was depressed since I was like 10. I remember that's a different story for different day. I don't want to take it too much.
No.
But,
we can talk about that.
Yeah, so when I was at 10, so I went through 10 years of being depressed.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy just like flipping on me now. So that was, like I said, I was 21. Now I'm 30 and I'm like living life.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm enjoying life.
If you
So
if you, if
it's
you
almost been 10 years.
if you take a look at your Instagram, yeah.
You know, it's almost been 10
you
years,
living.
bro. And it's like just crazy because it really is like that. But that's because I gave myself time to reflect and think. You know, like with my own thoughts. I talk to myself more than I talk to anybody.
You know, the funny thing you say that because during my day job, full disclosure, I still have a day job. You know,
just let it go.
Just let it go. But what I was trying to
$0 in your account, just quit.
What I was trying to say, what I was trying to say is, I do have people that I work with, and they always say, "Yo, it seems like you're talking to yourself often." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I talk to myself often because sometimes you just need expert advice." You know what I'm saying? You know, so I understand where you're coming from when you talk to yourself often. Now, it's not always crazy when you're talking to yourself. It's not. A lot of people like to paint that picture where you're crazy. But no, but sometimes you need to talk to yourself like, "Yo, my man, what are you doing? You need to get up." You know what I'm saying? You need to go to the gym. Why are you eating that? You know what I'm saying? Put the fork down. Stuff like that. So I get where you're coming from when it comes to that. What I want to talk about is like your artistry, right? Because you've gone to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
You graduated.
Mm-hmm.
You have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
What's your degree in?
Graphic design.
Graphic design. But most people know you for your photography, for your videography. Why did you choose videography? And this is question number 2. Why did you choose videography and photography to be your main thing to interact with the world other than graphic design?
Okay. First of all, let's take the word videography out of it.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't really like the word videography.
A lot of people don't.
It cheapens the craft.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So what do you consider yourself?
I'm a cinematographer. I'm a director.
Okay.
I'm a producer. I'm a photographer. I'm not a videographer.
Okay.
You know, I'm a director of photography if you need me to be.
I apologize.
You know, but I'm not a videographer. Kind of encompasses that you do a lot within all of it. You know what I mean? You do audio, light, and video.
Okay.
But also produce 2 at the same time. Like, it's a lot of aspects.
So it seems so when people say that though, when you're doing a lot more as a videographer, it seems like
it's cheaper too.
Yeah. So you're doing everything for cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not really because when people say videographer and they start like doing what you just did, which is laying out what the videographer does.
It's you setting this podcast up with some videography shit. I'm out of t-shirt. Don't nobody steal it. Damn. I don't care. All right.
It is what it is, man. You already started it.
But yeah, bro, like this is some videography shit right here. You just set all this stuff up by yourself, and it took you like double the time to do it. You know, like because I ain't help you, and I did it on purpose. But it took you like an hour to set everything up. Whereas if you had like just a 3-man team, it would have took you maybe 15, 20 minutes to set up. You know, saving time on my half for me waiting and stuff like that, and you just as a business. And then I'm kind of like rambling, but
not really. Not really rambling. You just said like 3 different points. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to what my final point is. Oh yeah, but then and then you also acting. So now that you're acting in it, nobody's recording this. So and you got 2 cameras. You know, like I did it today. Actually, I did this whole setup today, and I had to interview people manning 2 different cameras. Also having to focus on the audio. If I was mixing it, I ain't an audio though. I'm not like when people say videography and they want me to come do audio. I'm not an audio engineer, so don't expect it to be A1. Okay. I can give you some B- work.
B- work.
I can be completely honest with myself, but it ain't gonna be A+.
Okay.
Because I'm not an audio engineer. I would rather you let me produce it and I go contract out. That.
But you didn't really get to the question. You answer the question like why didn't you choose to do, since you went to college for graphic design? Why didn't you do that instead of photography and cinematography?
So, like I said, I was in a huge depression, and part of that was just going by what life tells you to do. You know, you go get a job, you go to school. So that's the life that I was going by. I had a government job with DC government. mentoring kids in the urban youth, in the urban city. And while I was in school, I was a graphic design major. I went through so many career changes because I actually wanted to be a video game designer at first. But I didn't have the money to afford to go to game design school, and I didn't have the grades to get scholarships.
Okay.
Because I was a failing student in high school. Look at me now. But so yeah, I was a graphic design student. That I wanted to be, and I was also a business major at first too. When I first applied for college, I was a business, and I transferred over to art, which is crazy, you know. I wanted to be a lawyer at first too.
You
remember my Harvard story? You remember the Harvard story when I had my Harvard interview? I could have went to Harvard. But so I was in graphic design school. When you're in graphic design school, they do make you take photography as one course.
Okay.
So I did take one photography course, but I didn't fall in love. And, you know, at that moment, I didn't fall in love with photography. And it's kind of like sometimes when you need something that comes to you, or you realize it when you need it. But I told people, like I told my clients, I got into photography and filmmaking, period, because I've always wanted to be in something creative because I wanted to explore different worlds, either that be through video games or through writing. But I really, really got into photography and film once my brother died. And when he died, he was 14, and we didn't have any photos of him at all for his obituaries. Like everything we had was from
no photos at all.
Not anything recent.
Okay.
Everything not like from, like I say, he was 14, so not anything from like 10 to 14.
Okay.
10 to 14, everything was basically anything we got from Instagram. It was a screenshot. Yeah, so we didn't have any pictures for his obituary. And I was like, it's kind of crazy that we don't take any photos of each other.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because when I was in high school, and I had bought one of those point and shoot cameras back in. I'm not gonna tell nobody when I bought it because
it's point and shoot. So
it was a point and shoot. It was a while ago, and I would try to take photos of like friends and whatnot. You know, just kind of have something to have. I still have those photos, but people didn't seem like they wanted to take photos. They made me feel kind of like I was like out of place a little bit. Like yo, why are you taking photos? And like, yo, my man, like this is high school. Like this my man. We're not gonna be in high school after this year. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it. I'm taking photos right now just to kind of whatever. And I could have taken a lot more photos had I not been discouraged. But I just reminded me what you said that, you know, with your brother, rest in peace, that I didn't have a lot of photos of him.
Yeah, so that I went out and bought a camera, and I remember because I used credit to get it because I was a DC government employee, and they said they had like a camera buying program. So I bought the camera. My Nikon is over here somewhere. I bought my Nikon D3200 just for that reason, so I can take family.
You had a D3200?
Yeah, that was my first camera.
My first camera was a D3100.
Yeah,
like hey, look at that. Yeah, you started ahead of me.
I saw it later though. Maybe I saw it like 2016.
Yep.
It was when I bought my camera. It was 2016.
Yeah, I bought mine
earlier. Yeah, because it was like he died 2013, so it was like 3 years after that.
Okay.
I bought a camera. That's when I lost like I lost my weight. I went and bought the camera that way. I started 2015. I started late 2015. No, I'm tripping. It was 2015. But yeah, so I bought the camera and I don't know. I haven't put it down since. I just started shooting music videos. Like I was working in searching quarters in DC, the hood. And just a lot of rappers was coming out of that area at that moment. So I was shooting. I probably shot at least over, I don't want like 300 to 500 music videos within that time period. Like a lot. Like I was like at least shooting like 100 music videos a year. It's crazy to think about, but that was a lot.
You got that. I see your hard drive stash. I believe it.
And I haven't deleted much.
Nah, you know,
I don't believe
you should. I don't believe you should. Even the BTS, because something can be made out of it.
Something I always go back. I still go back sometimes.
Something can be made out of it. Because I know me myself. I have stuff that I can always reach back into. So I understand.
Yeah, so I got that, but it was for that reason why I picked up the camera.
Okay.
And the art just it started coming back. You know, I fell in love. It gave me purpose. You know, and I just fell back in love with it. And it's like, dang, I created this. Every time I take a picture, you know.
Right.
Like I take a picture, like all this artwork that's up here. I take a picture, or I figure something out. I film something. Like when I film a movie, I piece something together. It's like I piece this together. You know, this is my vision. This is my creative decisions. You know, and even if you don't like it, like critiques, I take critiques, but I also understand like I like it. So if I like it, somebody else is gonna like it. If you don't like it, that's your problem.
Well, the world has actually now closer to 7 billion people.
Yeah, so somebody's gonna like enjoy it. They're gonna think the same way I think.
Right. Someone's gonna like what you do. You can't please everyone, but you can please
so
enough.
I learned to take critiques and listen to what it is, but
you can.
That's like so. But the only thing I would say with my art, I'm still exploring my art too. You know, because I tried different avenues, but it's crazy because I get the same thing every time I take anything. I get the same word. It's clean.
Is that bad?
It's commercial.
Is that bad?
To me, it just ain't like I can just. It's like I'm like a serious photographer.
Yeah, but why is that? Okay, well, let me ask you this question then. This is not even part of my 3 questions. Why does that bother? It just the energy. It seems like it bothers you that when someone just says it's clean.
I mean, I like that it's clean because I was like, I bet that means everybody gonna want it. But
what's the issue with it?
Sometimes it makes me. I'm not a real creative. I can just I know how to make stuff look nice. But it's like when I'm editing a wedding, that's why I really like weddings. When I'm editing a wedding, it's like I piece this story together.
So what you're telling me, what I'm getting, is that you're creative, right? Am I saying okay? So you want to be able to create, and when someone says something is clean, it's just you not really creating. You're just following a format that's already been. That's what it is. So you want to be able to create your own formula. That's what you're talking about.
And the style, and when people say it, they're like, yeah, they know that's Jamar. You know, instead of, it's just clean.
Jamar Denzel. All right. Okay.
You see, the sound nice, right? Jamar Denzel, and then it's Jamar Hutcheson.
Me personally, I like Jamar Hutcheson.
And you can pronounce it better, I think. I just got no ties to the last name, you know.
Okay, I mean that's a personal thing, and that's fine.
Too, you know?
That's fine. And look, man.
You ever think about that? Your last name?
I have ties to it.
You know your I don't know my grandfather. I don't know anybody with the name Hutcheson.
I know.
Besides my brothers.
I know both. I had the pleasure of knowing both of my grandfathers.
Yeah, where Hutcheson comes from, which is it's not even my father's last name. It's my it's kind of crazy because, you know, our friend Zach, he used to joke about it. He called me Jimmy Johnson because my father's last name was Johnson. So he was like, if your father was there and he would have named you, your last name would be Johnson, so your name would be Jimmy Johnson. But yeah, so Hutcheson is my grandfather's name, my mother's father's name. But he left, you know, so we have no ties to any of the Hutcheson clan.
Okay, so I don't have
any ties to it. So when I say it out loud, like, it's whatever.
I see what you're saying.
It's just like a slave name, you know. It's like a name somebody just gave me.
I hear you.
Like I was a sticker and they just put it in.
You was a sticker, just
I ain't got no ties. I ain't got no ties to it. It's like, all right. It's like it's like my social security number. I ain't get to choose it. I ain't got no connection to it.
Okay,
it's exactly like that. Oh my god.
Well. Speaking of like having a connection.
Question 3.
Okay. You from DC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since you've been in the arts, because that's where you at, right? You do photography, you do cinematography, you tell stories. When it comes to you doing all of that, you run into a lot of different people, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Do you run into a lot of DC natives when you're doing your work?
No.
Why is that?
Not often.
Not often. So you run into people that are living in DC or visiting DC, and they're not from DC. Transients. Okay. Why do you think that is that you run into? Actually, hold on. Let me back up. Were you running into that before you picked up the camera?
Before I picked up the camera, I wasn't doing anything.
So you were only running into people that was around the neighborhood that was from DC?
Yeah. People,
So when you picked up the camera is when you started running into people
that's when I started exploring and meeting different people.
Okay. So would you say that currently, right now, the majority of the people that you know, not who you grew up with, that you ran into with, let's say, the last 4 years?
Well, DC is a melting pot. You know, when you get over your 20s and you actually leave the neighborhood, a lot of people don't leave the neighborhood. You know, like my older brother hasn't left the neighborhood. He's still in Southeast. You know,
Okay.
so it's kind of crazy. Now you got me thinking, yeah, he hasn't left Southeast. So everybody he knows is probably still born and raised Southeast. Everybody that he knows, because he still the streets is his life. Me on the other hand, the streets wasn't my life.
You have your passport?
I got my passport.
Right. You traveled outside of not just the city, not just the region, but the country too.
But the country, yeah, I've been out.
Right.
Just got out, but I've been out.
But you've been out.
But I've been out. Like I live an intentional life now, so I've been out. But
Yo, hold up. I like what you just said. I live an intentional life. I want to repeat that again. I live an intentional life. A lot of people need to understand that and be able to actually put that into practice. Living an intentional life. I don't need you to go into too much detail with it.
That's
I want people who hear that. I want people. Yeah, go ahead, shout it out.
It's not. Just check me out. I'm just coming.
But yeah, I want people to hear that and understand that to live an intentional life is actually a very important thing. And I'm glad you said that. But I don't want to. We're not gonna go off on a tangent with that.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
We can talk. We can talk about that at another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like what you just said there.
All right. What was the question again?
The question was, do you know a lot of people?
So the craziest thing, I was telling this to my brother the other day. I said, this is my life right now. I said, when I was growing up in D.C., when you grow up in D.C., you really don't drive. I just got my driver's license. I ain't even got my driver's license. Just got my driver's license. I'm 30.
You live in the city. That makes sense. That's like me growing up in Manhattan.
Also, when you live in the city and you black and you from the hood, you don't leave your hood. Especially growing up in D.C. and in the 90s, you don't just travel anywhere.
You know what?
I never had a reason to have a car.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm hoping that type of mindset changes, because it's kind of ridiculous.
Growing up in DC, you caught the bus or you caught the train.
Okay.
And I did travel. I think that's another thing. I would catch the train and I would catch the bus other places, and that's because my mom worked for DPR, and so DPR is all over the city. So me going to work with her took me to different places around the city. But I would catch the train to school.
I'm sorry about that.
So I would catch the train from school, like during high school and middle school. Middle school and high school, I would catch the train from Southeast DC all the way to Northeast DC. And being on that line is just black people all day. If you ride the X2 bus line in DC, the most ghettoest bus line.
The most ghettoest bus line?
Oh, if you're on the X2, something gonna go down. Something gonna go down. You're gonna see somebody get burped, somebody fighting, some lady on the back twerking, something going down.
Twerking?
Something going down in the back.
Yo.
But it's all black people. But now we here out in Bethesda. My life is kind of like a 360 now. Now I'm surrounded by all white people. I get on. I used to before I had the car, I would catch the train from Northeast, because now I live in Northeast DC, not Southeast, but I live in Northeast DC now, and I travel here to Bethesda, Maryland, on a train before I got my car, and it was all white people, and it was like a flip. It went from all black people to all white people to all white people. I feel like I was gonna get out.
Damn, that bad?
It wasn't bad. No, it wasn't that bad. I'm just that flip. When I realized it, I looked up one day on the train. I was like, dang, it's like all these white people, and then like my roommate was white at the time, and not making it's not a race thing, but it was just funny. And then he took me to the house parties, because you don't do house parties when you're in DC. You ain't going over everybody's house. That's what you get shot up doing stuff. But he went to house parties, so he took me to a house, and everybody there was from somewhere else, South Dakota, everywhere but DC. So that's when the moment started happening, when like I stopped seeing Washington natives.
That's why you say that, because I'm not from DC, and I met you through your roommate, Zach. The craziest thing. I'm surprised he even answered that email, to be honest. But yeah, that's how you and I met, and I think that conversation came up relatively early on about, most of the people you know. I must have met you around that time.
It is.
And you were telling me that, a lot of people that you are meeting at that point weren't from DC.
Yeah, but everything flips.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense though, because it's the nation's capital, and people want to come here. Yeah, it makes sense.
Everybody comes from different places, but I am getting back to my roots, like to the project I was working on today. Everybody that was in that project from DC.
Okay, that's dope.
You know, and they all older than me too, actually. So they old heads from DC. Not old, they ain't old heads though.
That's dope.
But they all older people originally. And actually, one of the guys that worked, he not like one of the heads, but he worked with the project. He was actually taught me in high school. He was like one of my high school teachers.
Oh, that's dope.
Which is kind of crazy.
We'll keep it in the family, the DC family.
Yeah. So I'm getting back to my roots, and that's another thing with even just the being creative part. Like I don't feel like I'm that deep in even my own DC community, creative wise. You know, like I don't go to the events.
Well, people know you though,
and that's people do know me. Well, people starting to get to know me, but I me personally, I don't feel like I'm that deep into the arts in DC.
Well, maybe
and I'm
not,
out, especially since I stopped shooting music videos. When I was in music videos, I was more deep in it.
Well, I mean, music videos have their place
because you're in the culture, you know.
It has its place.
But I went corporate, so I kind of fell apart. I fell out of it. I feel
to a degree, maybe. I mean, you could always do one more video. You can always do 1 or 2 videos a month.
What music videos?
Music videos.
I mean, it
depends on what your schedule is like.
For me to get back into music videos and music, it's not even about the budget or nothing. It's really just about the concept. I can't do the trap videos no more.
I understand.
You know, I'm probably more. I'm just an artist. It's about getting to know yourself. You know, I'm more of an R&B person.
I hear you.
If I had to do some rap stuff, it's gonna be with my boy Raw Wave.
Fair enough.
We ain't even from DC though, but it's gonna be.
It is what it is. I mean, it's long as the concept, like you said, the concept.
Matter of fact, you did the shoot with Jay Alexander. You know, he was at the beach. Like vibes like that. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, I shot a video too with a gospel artist, so I know what you're saying. They say, because
they want more of a story. You know, it's just not just about me flashing my money. That I'm really broke, but I'm flashing my money, and me with all these hot chicks, but I'm lonely on it. It's not about all that. You know, it's more about whatever story that they want to convey, and that's what I really kind of want to focus on. It's really just the stories that I'm telling, and that's probably where I'm gonna get more creative at. Because I got a lot of stories. I got a lot of stories for myself, and there's so many other stories out in the world because people are so interesting.
Yes, they are. That's why people watching is so popular.
That's why podcasts are so popular.
You know what? You're right too, man. Because even though I have a podcast, I watch a lot of other podcasts too, and you're right. They are interesting.
Yeah, because you're hearing other people's stories and their perspectives.
Exactly, and stories that you wouldn't have heard before.
Yeah.
Otherwise, So we getting to the point now in the show. I've asked my 3 questions, and we have an opportunity for me to ask a bonus question.
Okay.
Or for you to ask me a question.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you actually watched all the shows yet. I mean, you behind the camera. You kind of filmed them. You filmed them, so it doesn't matter.
I know what's coming.
You know what's coming. So, rock, paper, scissors. You ready?
Yeah.
Is it so? Let me see. So how does it?
Shoot.
Shoot.
It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Oh no. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right.
On shoot, you do whatever you're gonna do.
Are you ready?
You doing one take or 2 out of 3?
One take.
Manifest, right?
One take.
One take.
One take.
All right. That's how you got manifest.
All right. You got your question for me? Oh no.
I'll think of it on the fly.
All right. You got 30 seconds.
Good for Gab. You ready? On shoot.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I win again. God damn. Yo, I haven't lost in 6 episodes.
I hesitated.
You want to do it again?
In my head, no,
you ain't sure?
In my head, it said choose rock.
Oh my God. Nah, man, nah. Are you sure you don't want to do it again?
Nah, I'm fine. You can do it if you want to, but I'm fine.
All right.
You gonna do 2 out of 3?
Nah, I'm 2 out of 3. All right, 2 out of 3.
Win, no point in doing it again.
If it's 2 out of 3, if I win again, then I'm supposed to ask this question.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So we got to do one more, right?
Yeah.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper. Hold on. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'm supposed to ask this question.
Hit me.
Out of all your skills, and I've seen you have many.
Thank you.
Real talk. Out of all your skills, other than photography and cinematography, which would you rather monetize? And not actually feel like you're working? He's thinking.
Monetize? That's a weird question. Because monetizing the skill, if you like it. You say if I love it? Do I love it, or I'm just good at it? Yeah, I said, do I love it, or am I just good at it?
Let's say love it.
Okay.
Because I did say that you don't feel like you're working, so love it.
So I don't feel like I'm working while I'm making the money, though.
While you're making money and you're doing work, but you don't feel like it's work because you love it.
I mean, I don't know. That's cool. I don't know, bro. Monetize, I'm gonna monetize all of them.
You have you gotta pick one, man. Damn. You don't monetize every goddamn thing. You can't monetize every single skill.
Why can't I? You ain't never hit a triple threat?
Yeah, that's triple threat. You have more skills than 3.
I only care about 3.
Which ones?
Photography, cinematography, and singing.
Okay, so out of those, damn, you can't. Well, then I guess it's singing. Then, do you want to monetize singing?
I needed lessons though. I do want to take some. I don't know. I've always enjoyed singing. Singing makes me feel good.
You sing in the grocery store. Yeah. I've walked with you while you did it.
Yeah, just doing it. I do it all the time.
So you saying that
people in the Hearst too think I'm a music producer?
I don't put it past it. So you're telling me that if you had singing lessons,
I got more comfortable.
You got more comfortable. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So that's what it is.
I always wanted to be Michael Jackson. Then I always wanted to be better than Chris Brown. Hell yeah.
Well, bet then. So that's the answer. Singing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know what? I did this with
I was on one of your tracks.
You were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually
I did the vocals on the back of this track.
Damn, I forgot all about that. You're right. You were on there. Damn. Yeah, we gotta put that out.
Yeah.
The hell? I'm over here BSing. I need to put that out so people can. Yeah.
People can hear Jamal sing in the background. It's just a little. It's like really. It's not really much.
Yeah, I mean, it's enough, and it gives the track. It actually gave the track flavor.
I could be a producer, bro. I'm like I am really talented.
It gave the track flavor.
I could think I could be I could be a music producer if I wanted to. I know good music.
Yeah, I mean,
I know what people like.
I like what you did on the track. Now that I'm thinking it's all coming back now. I like what you did on it. Actually, I did this with Paige. Because I keep winning these things. I actually want someone to ask me a question. She asked me a question. I answered that.
What was her question again?
I forget. It was some weeks ago.
Oh.
I would have to.
I can ask you a question. I got one.
Shoot.
What made you want to start a podcast?
Not really. I started a podcast because I don't want to go into a long good night into oblivion. Let me explain what I mean by that. There are so many people out there that don't produce any content. And when they leave this earth, or this plane of existence, it's only going to take 1, maybe 2 generations for them to be truly gone. And when I say by that, when I say that, like, think of Michael Jackson.
You know why I laugh? That's the reason why I got depressed. I had that thought.
You're going into oblivion?
I had that that caused my depression as a child. I realized that when I was 10. And I had nobody to talk to about it. I was like, bro, do people really care about Martin Luther King for real? You know, do people really care about? They ain't nobody think about him right there.
Some people are. A lot of people are. But that's the thing, though. Like,
but I had that thought in my head. I was like, after like 400 years, am I really gonna matter? Is any of it gonna matter?
You have to do something, and that's why I'm doing.
You gotta do something.
You have to do
that's
something.
What I'm saying. I went the opposite direction though. Then during my depression, I went the opposite direction. But then when I got out, that's when I realized like I can have just wallow in it, so I can just like live it up.
Yeah, that's what that's yeah.
And you want to be remembered for something like
something. You know,
leave your mark. Everybody want to leave
something,
the mark.
and that's why. That's one of the reasons why I started this podcast, and I think I'm actually getting progressively good at interviewing people, talking with people. Again, I don't like to do the whole controversy stuff. I think that's enough in the world when it comes to that. I want to talk to people. I want to get to know who they are.
You want stories.
I want stories. Exactly. But yeah, that's why. I think that's one of a few reasons why I started the podcast. But it might just be the main reason. I don't want to go off. I don't want to be a person that goes off into oblivion. The internet ain't going nowhere ever. Or at least I don't think. I hope not. And people will always be able to see this at some point. It'll pop up in someone's feed at some point.
If you do your keywords right.
If you do your keywords,
it took me a lot to find you the other day. I tried to Google it.
3 keywords?
Yeah, it took a lot.
That's crazy because it don't take me much at all.
I had to be real suspicious.
And I tried different computers.
I was on somebody's slow TV though, so that might have been it. But
well,
it took a lot.
When I
make it easier.
Yeah, but maybe the keywords need to be better.
No keywords, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it. I mean, there's other reasons also, but that's might be the main reason and the one that actually hits me the most. I don't want to go off into oblivion without having left something.
I respect it. I get it. I dig it.
Yeah. But anyway, Dan, we just kind of that's actually kind of got kind of deep.
It's always been deep. Yeah, I'm a deep person.
Yeah, I mean, no, we have a lot of conversations. We do. But yeah, Jamar Hutcheson. Actually, hold up, Jamar Denzel.
Producer, writer, director, multi-talented. Not to brag or anything. He said it. I didn't say it. But
I did say it.
He did say it.
I did.
But yeah, because I was a good interview.
Yeah, it was actually a good interview. It is a good interview.
Okay,
interview.
Right.
You know
I don't
what
think
I'm
I introduced myself well enough thinking about it, but
you want to introduce yourself now?
We'll be back. I'll just be back.
I bet.
I'll be back. They get to know me.
Until the next one. Actually, hold up. I hope you will come back when we actually start really, really kicking off. Because I don't think people fully understand this ain't it.
Well, hopefully you'll be on my podcast next month.
Bet. I would love to.
Because we won't be here anymore.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we're moving studios.
We're moving studios.
Yes, we are.
So we won't be here. This won't ever exist again. Damn.
You know what? That's part of the reasons why I wanted to do this one with you.
Damn, this won't ever exist again because like this whole background.
That's fine.
And this doesn't think about like I laughed earlier because I was like, dang, I kind of feel this the same lighting KO had, but but I was like, but there's the shift of the look, like starting with Destiny. You should put this as a flashback, but starting with Destiny, like it was just so bare bones.
It was.
Because that's when we first. It was just naked white.
It was.
Even the lighting.
It was.
It was naked white. It was the same couch though. This couch been through war. And then it's just been progressing, and we painted the walls. We added the pictures. I painted the walls. But it's just been like so much. It's just the growth of this. Like we grow as people, bro. And like how you just said, you feel like you've been growing with all of these and all the episodes you've been doing, and you've been exploring different locations for that.
I think I like that aspect of it. I do.
And so the next part will be at the new studio where one of the rooms will be podcast heavy. Mm-hmm. So it won't be an excuse. So hopefully 3 questions is every week, is weekly. Coming soon, you know.
We're gonna push it.
And then one of my own podcast, which would be TBD. Just check me out on social media, Jamar Denzel. You can Google it. Or the website is still JamarHutcheson.com.
He'll be changing it.
I need to change it now.
You're gonna be changing
I
that.
gotta change it now.
Yeah.
I changed it to Jamar. I like Jamar Denzel. I don't know. I like it.
And honestly, if you like it, then so be it.
Yeah, I feel like
I even like
it's crazy just saying it. I keep saying it. I feel way more comfortable saying that than I do Jamar Hutcheson.
There you go. Even my name. My name is only a syllable less, but it feels way better rolling off the tongue. Von Walker.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think, whatever. If you feel that you know, if it's good for you, then let it roll.
That's perfect.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and head out of here, man.
All right, last day. We're gonna do the Will Smith walk away. Just turn the lights off and just reminisce.
Yeah,
last day
we're gonna
in
film
the studio.
that. We're gonna film that.
In the studio.
Yeah.
Dang, it's crazy. All right. I'm tired.
Anyway,
I got work to do.
Until the next one, deuces. Again, Jamar Hutcheson, Von Walker, 3 questions.
That's it, you know.
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't know. Shit.
Is the red light on? Oh, I ain't see the red light.
I think my joint died.